Hello YouTube, this is Dakota from Bowtied Media, and today we've got a double installment of This Week in EDM. Yes, indeed, I did miss last week's. Very busy. Obviously, life is busy when you have a newborn child and have friends from out of town, which hopefully you guys will be excited for some new content coming out soon with said people. Don't want to spoil too much, but we're on time this week for this Sunday's This Week in EDM, so let's hop into it.
Wubs to sound wet.
Starting us off in the bad category is Subtronics with Itchy Scratchy. Sadly, one of those tracks that's just trying too hard to be funny, but constantly berating you with that itchy scratchy dialogue over and over again was not for me, to the point that the only thing I was paying attention to was just the, I want itchy scratchy rhythm, and yeah, the production is fine from Subtronics, but the voice really ruins this one for me. Then we have Naeleck with Ashes. Not sure what this track was really aiming for, but it sounds dated and very childish, honestly. Almost as if Alan Walker tried to make a hardstyle song, but like 10 years ago. The production quality and creativity just aren't there. Then hopping into the meh category, we've got INFEKT with Boosted. Yeah, sorry rhythm heads, I'm just not feeling this one. The melody is just too off-putting for me, and I'm just really not a fan of the overall sound design here. Then we've got Sullivan King and Excision with Firework Eyes. Ironically, I enjoyed everything about the song except the drops. I thought the non-drop sections had some of Excision and Sullivan King's best songwriting elements, but that abrasive screamo drop just threw it all away. Then we got Robin Schulz, Steve Aoki, and LAWRENT with Bloodtype. A short main stage track with a pseudo-future rave melody that definitely hits that higher register. Fairly fine track when it's all said and done, but I'm sure that melody will get grating over time. Then we got Before Dawn with Reborn from the new Reborn EP. This new Slander alias is here with a techno emphasis, and that notion in and of itself is a little strange to me because I feel like techno is on its way out right now, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Otherwise, this is the title track here, and I guess it's a minimalistic one with not really much going on. And we've got Sublab and Teneki with Break My Soul. A neat little trap tune, but one that doesn't really say a whole ton, especially with the shorter runtime and fairly linear melody. I like the sound design a lot, but just wished it had a real hook to go along with it. Then we have Control-Alt-Delete with Amsterdam. A pretty fine dance floor drum and bass tune from Don Diablo's alternative alias here, fairly commercial leaning and nothing too showy. Then we have Tokyo Machine with Volume. While I do believe that this is a great melding of Tokyo style and the sounds of Subsidia, this primarily more aggressive, rigid dubstep from Tokyo just isn't necessarily my favorite. Definitely feels like a step down from his more recent Factory Reset EP. Then we've got Adventure Club with Ordinary, a cover of Alex Warren's song of the same title. It's a pretty fine remix, all things considered, but it does sound like EDM Imagine Dragons. I don't know why, it's kind of a weird association I've made, but it's fine. We got Armin van Buuren and Martin Garrix featuring Libby Whitehouse with Sleepless Nights. A bit of an awkward track, honestly, that doesn't really quite land the plane in any one direction. It's a bit, I don't know, anthemic, but it's not enough to really be a main stage hit, but also not really unique enough to be a headphone classic. Kind of just stuck in this weird limbo state. Then hopping into the good category, we've got Synymata and Cherry with Supernova. A pretty smooth new track here with a laid-back, kind of melodic dubstep first half, and then a driven house beat in the back. A lot of emphasis on the atmosphere here, and I'm enjoying it. Then we got Fatboy Slim and Daniel Steinberg with Bus Stop Please, the David Guetta and Morton Future Rave remix. Long title there, but this is probably my favorite Future Rave mix that this duo has done in a while. I think the energy from the original is still very present, and they've transformed the tune into a real festival anthem. I'm very pleased with this release. Alison Wonderland with I Want to Live in a Dream. Always a pleasure to have a kind of trap Alison Wonderland track, and also congrats to her for looking forward to her baby number 2. But yeah, this track is solid, but definitely more reserved and simple, at least in terms of her most recent comeback tracks. Then we got deadmau5 with Sixes from the new Error 5 EP. A fairly straightforward release from deadmau5 with that kind of long 6-minute progressive electro house song structure with plenty of time for that natural progression. Nothing earth-shattering though. Seems like he needed to release something alongside his Fortnite appearance, and I mean, this is deadmau5 through and through, so I'm a fan. Then we've got Leotrix with Dodgy Spacecraft from the new Beatus EP. A snappy future rhythm track with lots of quick percussion work that definitely makes this a really unique track. Then we've got Gengar and Psychedelic with Oh My Days. While the song does kind of preface as a Can't Get You Out of My Head by Kylie Minogue cover, it transforms into this kind of rap-centric drum and bass tune with lots of twists, turns, and dubstep growls. Then we've got Just a Gent and Slowboy with Gates. Just a Gent brings his signature wonky sound design to the trap space once again here. I love the stuttering, almost halftime final drop that really switches up the formula from the first to second half. Then we've got Sam Gallatry with Start Up a Rumor, a pretty quintessential Sam Gallatry track with an easily danceable groove, high production value, and infectious melody. Then we got ILLENIUM and Norma Jean Martin with Refuge from the new A-B double-sided single from ILLENIUM. I feel very neutral about this tune in particular. Seeing ILLENIUM go for this kind of Eurotrance progressive feel does seem like a natural progression of his own sound to take and an easy side quest for ILLENIUM to take, but I don't really think it's his strongest, but also far from his worst. If anything, it's just a touch generic, but I'm okay with that because I think the quality of this tune is there. Then we've got the MPH remix of I'm Not Alone, originally by Calvin Harris. A very minimalistic house remix of this Calvin Harris tune, and it's not really doing anything too crazy or special, but is a solid new take on the track. Then we got Disclosure and Anderson .Paak with No Cap. A steady hip house track where Disclosure really tries to let Anderson .Paak shine, yet he doesn't really embrace the spotlight here to its fullest extent. It's a fun tune with a great groove, but far from a Disclosure classic. Then we got Bob Moses with Last Forever, a beautifully euphoric melodic house tune from Bob Moses that stays true to their newest, more beat-heavy sound. And I'm always a sucker for those soft vocals. We got Demo Tapes and Elohim with Clouds, a happy-go-lucky, bright electropop tune that's fairly endearing and uplifting. It's, yes, another shorter tune, but a song that really doesn't need to say much more than it does. Then we got Klax and Yatep featuring Avelia with Starlight. An easily danceable future-based track with a bright palette and high energy. A lovely tune with a real unique production style. Then we got Memba and Arrow 808 with Caution, a bouncy modern trap tune with that classic Memba tribal feel to it. The bassline slaps as this tune embraces a fairly steady, carefree beat. We got Matt Zo with Wounded, a steady house tune from Matt Zo with a constant vocal chant and incredible mixing. A little on the tamer side of things by Matt Zo standards, but a solid tune nonetheless. It's the march of the machine. Then we've got RIOT with March of the Machines from the new The Machine album, out now by RIOT. This track in particular feels like a mixture of their Dogma Resistance drum step and a newer focus on adding some more rap elements. The song isn't nearly as polished or dynamic as some of their Dogma Resistance tracks, but it's still fairly solid in its own right. Then we got the Mefjus remix of Dust Up, originally by Noisia and the Upbeats. A long, almost 6-minute driving neurofunk remix of an already great original tune. This remix doesn't do a whole ton to the original to differentiate itself, but it's a nice alternative mix. Then we got Flume and Protostar featuring Purple Velvet Curtains with Signal, a halftime dance floor D&B track with a distinct Euro sound and minimalistic middle movement. A really solid tune that hits all of its marks. Then we've got Higo with Shine. I love hearing some more speed garage and UK garage in general, and this is a great shining Monstercat debut. The percussion work is fantastic, and the song has a real shimmer to the whole thing. Then we got Black Tiger Sex Machine and Grabbits with Control Myself. Grabbits is really shining through on this track, both vocally and very evidently through his production here. Holistically, this tune is mainly a dense mid-tempo track with a firm hook that just works. Then we've got Affinity with Afterlife. Affinity has really been embracing his heavier side as of late, and I honestly think it's his best side. I can hear all the hints and hits of his Pixel Terror past, and he's found a great way to balance that with his more foremost melodic center. Then we got Chami and Nico X Sway with Waiting. Tech house with a lot of funky flair. In a sea of boring tech house tracks, this one manages to really shine and rise above the rest. Fantastic. Then we got Frost Children with What Is Forever For. Another solid single from Frost Children leading up to their upcoming record. And like the previous singles, this is a predominantly electro house production with a real kind of indie electro pop atmosphere. Great blending of multiple styles and sounds. Then we got Set the Sky and Parson James with Heavenly. I'm a sucker for a good choir element, especially in a more anthemic progressive tune, and that is this track to a T. The vocals are brilliant, the production is the right amount of flashy and reserved, and I'm pretty much loving everything about it. Then we got Pauline Her with Lose Yourself. Really loving this newest single from Pauline that both feels like it's been inspired by the current trap trends, but is also something entirely unique. One of her strongest songs, honestly. This just bangs front to back. Then we have Nina Geraci with Delete from the new I Love My Computer LP out now. Another predominantly electro house tune with a real kind of glitchy indie aesthetic. Beautiful production that also has a ton of hyperpop influences as well. Then we got Control Freak with Throw My Hands Up, a modern trap banger that hits all the bells and whistles of what makes both the genre as a whole successful in 2025, as well as stays true to Control Freak's core sound palette. Then we've got Milk Blood and IDK with Bagpipe Billy, a wild trap rap tune from these two, with IDK going incredibly hard on the raps, with Milk Blood bringing their own flair on the production side of things. This is more of a kind of a hip-hop track than explicitly EDM, but again, another track that just bangs. Then we got Nigel Good with Loose End. Nigel Good with a brand new self-released deep house track that plays off his signature spacey sound. This could have easily slotted into one of his, I guess, trilogy of albums. Then we've got Rival featuring Philip Strand with Revival. Rival really embracing his inner Grant for this kind of dubstep future bass hybrid tune that definitely feels unique in the grand scheme of the EDM space, I guess, other than Grant. It's not as dynamic as a Grant tune would be, but it's still great. Then we have Death Pact with Ruthless. Death Pact brings his best knife party impression to the table here on this latest track, and I'm here for it. This aggressive vocal before the drop into hard-hitting complextro is a formula I didn't really know I missed so much. I would love to see a renaissance of knife party-like tunes, honestly. Then we got Rose Grey featuring Shy Girl and KCMQ with Everything Changes, but I won't. A soft dance pop tune that really utilizes all artists involved here extremely well for this new kind of alternative mix. The vocals are angelic and the production really knows when to pull back and when to just go for it. Fantastic tune. Then we have Habstract featuring Julianne Bai with Don't Let Me Down from this new kind of A-B double-sided single. I'm a sucker for, again, some UK garage, and particularly when it's infused with a real house-like palette. This track in particular is so good. Definitely a new style for Habstract, but man, I want more of this. And heading into the standout category, we've got Inzo and Bluka with Good Signs from the new Nexum LP out now by Inzo and Bluka. I really believe this record is going to have some real staying power in the bass scene. It's incredibly fresh, high quality, funky production. It has a healthy amount of wubs to go alongside it all as well. Then we've got Bad Computer and Roy Knox with When You're Not Around. As expected, this is fantastic. Bad Computer has his classic blend of electro and bass house, but with a lot more glitch this time around, which I'm assuming comes from Roy Knox. Nonetheless, it's a killer collab, killer track. Then we've got Emma Louise and Flume with Shine, Glow, Glisten. A lovely new wonky future-based tune from these two that sounds like a mixture of Flume's Skin and mixtape albums. It's not super flashy, but borderline perfect. And our emerging artist spotlight of the week goes to Rocket Man with Moonlight from his new From a Certain Point of View EP. This track in particular is a bit of a throwback tune that's baked in nostalgia sound design. It's got some dubstep, some future bass, some trap, some pure electronica, some stutter. It's a unique cut for sure, and this EP is pretty solid. But that's been This Week in EDM. Let me know what you guys think of any and all songs in the comment section below. But other than that, I'm Dakota from Bowtied Media, and I'll see you guys in another video.